Welcome to Borderline Liberia. Today we'll be discussing issue that is very important to our nation. Guys, good evening.
Hi, Paul. Hi, everybody.
Jamal,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm doing great. Well, good to be back at Borderline after a couple of weeks. Um,
Increase your volume, please.
you don't hear me?
Yeah,
I say it's good to be back at Borderline after a couple of weeks away. So I hope we can discuss some issues that are making news around, well, especially Liberia and also Africa in general.
great. And Orita, how are you? You
I'm
muted.
good. I'm good. I'm good.
Great. It's good to see you all today, and we'll be looking at another edition of Borderline. Tonight's show, I think it'll be interesting. We'll have uh, Jamal, Orita, and Marie will be joining us. So Linford cannot be on the show today because he's not well. So I guess Jamal is here to take Linford place today. So Jamal, welcome back. You've been away for a few days now. And while away, Borderland, the ladies been going for a recent time. Orita was on her show. Last week, Maria on her show, the ladies been beating us. So I don't know if you have watched that program lately. So what do you think of the ladies forum?
Well, great. I really like the actions the lady are taking with regard to making some highlights and taking the driver's seats to highlight some activities and events making you know making news, and it's good that we hear their voices. So it's very good that they have come on, and I hope they can bring in some more guests and they can address some issues that we the men tend not to look into.
That's right.
This is what we call an equal society. So the bottom line is for every one of us. So we'll create a platform for the ladies to make use of it. I hate to say a little forum. I like to say I like the equal society where we all sit and discuss issues as grown up. So I think this should continue. We should have them on and like they have them. They have their own separate show. Well, we welcome that and welcome to the borderline.
Right. Welcome to Bottomland. For those who joining us today, please share the show. We'll be talking about a few things today. Three topics are on the. We'll be talking about the recent protest regards to the death of Councillor Mosu's daughter, and we'll also look at the selective justice in Liberia. And then the question is, why is it Monrovia City Police are still carrying arms? Then later on, we will discuss the election that were held in Nigeria. What lesson do we learn from what happened in Nigeria? So those are the topics we'll be discussing. So while with this, I would like us to have a musical break while we share the show. So Marie, welcome to the bottom line. It's good to see you here. How are you? You're muted. Increase your volume. I'm not hearing you. So while Marie is struggling with her volume, we'll take a musical break while we're sharing the show. And then when we come back, probably Marie will be good. So I'm going to take us to the place called Grand Cape County with some traditional music. And I think it'll be good. Sometime we'll listen to our traditional music. Facebook, we don't have copyright to this song, although it's African music, Liberian music in particular. So here we go. Please share the show. Ah,
camelo, Mwakomuma kema adenuna, Mwakomuma kema adenuna, Namanu wete bono tu samemuwe, Namanu wete bono tu samemuwe, Unamemuwe, Jebono memuwe, Unamemuwe, Jebono memuwe, Jebono. No, make to sana, ya kaima wala de like diamana, ya kaima wala de like diamana, ibentona, jebono, make to sana way, make to sana way, make to sana. Namwanu wajebono powe dunya late mayi wajebono na me mai la jebono jejebono late mayi wajebono una jebono ana monu wajebono tusa na me mala jebi abentuona edunya wajebono poe
Well, welcome to Bottlon Liberia. This is where we discuss the issue, and here we
Well,
don't eat
welcome to
prayer
Bottlon Liberia. This is where we
with shame.
discuss the issue, and here we don't eat
Guys, please mute, please mute, please mute. Thank you. Welcome to Bottlon. Ladies and gentlemen, today we'll have another edition of Bottlon, and what we'll be discussing, few things here, very important to our nation. We're going to look at the protests that were held by the women on, let's say, yesterday, calling out for justice. We're also going to look at why is it city police are still carrying firearms and they're not entitled to do that, and also the election that were held in Nigeria. Uh, Nigeria had they elected somebody who in their 80s. What lesson learned from this? So I want to say welcome all of you to Bottomland, Liberia. Our host Linford Gold is not here today because he's not well, and we're wishing all the best and speedy recovery. So I'll say, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bottomland. Marie, Orito, and Jamal. Good evening from my end.
Hi, Paul. Hi, viewers. Welcome to the bottom line.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Share the show.
Thank you. Jamal, yeah, you kind of low.
I was saying something that, yeah, you still hear me?
Hearing you.
Right, okay. With regard to the bottom line, if you are joining us, make sure that we have you on our. Still hear me now?
You okay now?
Okay, thank you. With regard to the bottom line, if you can get us, you can also follow us on the radio. We also on the if you're on the if you're using iPhone, use your mount tuner. You can catch on the mount tuner on a radio, on the online radio. At the same time, also on Android. You can always download our Android app on the Play Store to listen to a live. If you don't have the time to watch us on the telly or something like on television on StreamYard. So anytime catch up on these on the radio, that's audio. Every time, if you have your iPhone, please don't forget to download Mount Tuner. You can see you can catch up there. Also, we have our own app on Android Play Store. Always the button on Liberia is always there. Every time, 247. Welcome, and this is our greeting from Manchester. It's always nice to be on the show, and especially greeting to the city of Manchester, where football is a religion. We say hi to everybody wherever you're listening. Join us. This is the button on Liberia.
Thank you, Jamal. So we're on radio, we're on Mind Tuning 24/7. You can catch us on, you can download our app, the Butterline app. You can, we're 24/7 online. So Marie is in the UK here with me, and Orita is in Sweden. So today we'll be firing here. But let me just highlight the topic first before we get into discussion. Uh, these are things that we're going to look at today. We're going to have the protests on the women have protest. They protested yesterday to highlight the attack on women, and this has become a pattern lately in Liberia, especially on this CDC-led government. That's something. If it's not rape, it's murder. It's something else every day. So we'll be looking at that, and then that will lead us to the culture of selective justice in Liberia. And this is where we're going to talk. We're going to tie that in with the rape cases, the murder, and all that. While certain people get justice, some people prosecuted falsely, and other people they don't have justice. And we will also look at the Monrovia City Council Police. Why are they still carrying firearms? And the institution, when it was established, it was not meant for them to carry firearms. So it's something to look at. And then the question tonight to everybody, our viewers, will want you guys to call in and have a say on this. Nigeria elected their president, who is nearly 90 years old. I may say that. So one lesson learned from this. With this same thing happening in Liberia, a lot of young people in Nigeria today are not happy with the result that they got. So we'll ask our viewer to call in. And before we start that, I just want Orito, please recognize some of our viewers on the show tonight, please.
I have already.
Yeah, just call their names.
I
So we,
have their names.
yeah,
Okay. I'll tell you, man. That. Hello, Mona. Hello, Chadilia. And hello to our own Butterline brother, Linfa, and the rest of our viewing audience. Welcome, everybody. We are so happy to have you guys joining us today.
thank you. So, ladies, we're going to get into this quickly. Before we start that, I'm going to play a little clip about what happened yesterday. Thousands of women turned out yesterday from all walks of life, and old, young, babies, they all turned out yesterday to petition the Liberia government to stop this nonsense that is happening to our sisters, our mothers in Liberia. So we'll look at some of the things, and I really want you guys, especially before we start, that today is International Women Day. And I want to say happy International Women Day to all the women. And before I play the protest day, I would like to hear what this International Women Day means to women. So Marie and Orito, you can talk to us on this.
Uncle Paul, sorry, it's on Wednesday.
It's on Wednesday, right? I saw George. We are celebrating in Liberia today, so I thought it
Yeah, a
was
lot of people
today.
are doing it before Wednesday. Even
It's
I
Wednesday,
have a meeting on the 7th as well, but it's actually Wednesday, the 8th.
right? So yeah, just for some of all who novice to the thing, you just want to give us a little bit of summary of what International Women Day means. So Wednesday, I know you guys will be firing on this. Just give
Yeah,
us a
but
little.
so basically, like the International Women Day just has been put together by the United Nations, SDG Gold, and
Yeah,
also the United Nations Women's, and also the United Nations Environmental Program. On the being is because they want to recognize how women has take lead in the global environment, and
right,
also young girls that is also following up the leads of the women's in the global environment. Basically, kind of like empowering women. That's just long story cut short. It's empowering women to keep doing what they're doing, even they've been through the storm. They have not given up. They are still have that kind of strong leadership mindset to say, "I'm going forward. I want to make a difference, and I have a young girl or a young little boy that is following my footsteps." So basically, so they just it's just like kind of like recognition
right,
of women who has made an impact. Like for example, our lady Eddie Johnson Sirleaf, who is being the first African president that is a female. So they're just recognizing women who has taken leadership already.
right. Orito,
Yeah, and then I will take it back, back in history when Clara Zetkin, which is a German woman who in 1910 was one of the women who formed, helped to form the International Women's Day. And at that time, it had to do with the fact that the injustice where women were not considered as equal when it comes to things in society. So, from a historical perspective, it's a day when women were like introduced, not just being in the house, because back then, like I said, from a historical perspective, women place was in the kitchen, take care of the children. You wasn't allowed to work. Or those women who were working, you were not even earning the same amount of wages as men. So, and for that, we thank all the great women after who continue to empower and impact women.
thank you.
Yeah.
So based on that, women and in Liberia is the opposite lately. There have been a lot of murder, rape, even babies lately in Liberia. So to start with, I get Jamal. I know the women already told all about International Women Day that come. I know Marie is coming up with a program on Wednesday on this, and they will tell us more about the women thing. So on this topic, I want to play the little clip, and then you guys can take us through. Okay. It's just a short clip to show that thousands of women turned up yesterday and to express their dissatisfaction with the way things are being handled in Liberia, especially the murder of a lot of Liberian women lately, including men. There haven't been any justice. So we know that Councillor Musu or Scott's daughter was murdered, and up to today's day, the police have not come up with anything. Although there was a claim made by Councillor Verdier, gave detailed description like he was on the scene when that happened. We still yet to have this issue. So women took onto the street yesterday. So I will start with you, Orito, from looking at that play and the things that you watched yesterday. What is your view on it?
Well, Paul, my view is, for me, this is like a bittersweet victory where I'm disappointed, but at the same time, I'm happy. Happiness that seeing like mothers, because looking at the women that were, at the Capitol, or was it Temple of Justice?
Capitol building.
Yeah, the Capitol building, exactly. Are women who they are permanent women in the Liberian society. There are a lot of them. So I'm happy for that. But my disappointment got to do with the fact that before this happened, and Mita, like in Mususka's daughter, may her soul rest in perfect peace. And my heart goes out to the family. But my disappointment is that we have the past 5 years under George, we are under this regime. Our daughters, our sisters have been murdered, but I didn't see that. I'm not saying other protests didn't take place, but women of such caliber, I didn't see them there. So for me, the selective justice in Liberia, especially when it comes to we women, we should always think like this. We all carry, a child for 9 months. And we should always have this in our mind that just because it's not my child doesn't mean that I cannot raise my voice, give my time, and do everything in my power so justice can come to the next woman's child. And that's what I'm a little bit disappointed, but it seems that I'm happy. I'm happy because I think now women, mothers in the Liberian society, they have reached a point where they say, they are starting to realize that enough is enough. If we don't take a stand, this is going to really, really harm us and our daughter. So for now, I will stop here.
Marie, you muted.
Okay, so it's okay for you to reiterate that and kind of like
Go on.
Yeah, can you tell me exactly what? Yeah, can you go back into the topic, the question again?
Well, I guess you heard about the former uh, Chief Justice of Liberia daughter was killed, and The
Oh yes.
government had then started on this, so thousands of women took onto the street yesterday to protest and demanding justice for this young girl. So we know that there have been other murders in the country. No one have said anything, but this one, everyone turned out yesterday. So that's what we're talking about today. And
Well, to be honest with you, it just Raphael keep quiet a little bit. It just kind of like I won't usually use the word kind of like. I'm very sorry, audience, for using that word kind of like. It's like for example, what happened with George? Is it George Ford, the guy that got killed in America by the police officer?
yeah,
I mean, it's like, you know, going back to what one of what my panelists mentioned about it, about most of us being International Women's Day being historical, due to the fact that this is a historical trauma, violence that is consistent. One day it's going to come to a day, it's going to say we had enough. So it may not be this lady daughter that was being killed. It would have been anyone. This was this happened at the end of the cup. The cup got full. So they were just waiting for whatever it is that was going to say, that were going to spike them and say, that's enough. We're going out and we're going to go and protest. It's like what happened to George Floyd.
okay,
And they put the label down, Black Lives Matter. Only because the Black people in the global environment, including the white people as well, got fed up with discrimination. And they said, that's it. This is enough. So the women is going out and protesting because of this. It's just fortunate that it was this lady that, maybe it was God calling, that it was her that was going to make the breakthrough.
right.
Yeah. So it just simply showed to me that the Liberian women's and the men's, because I saw the pictures, there's men's involved as well. They just say enough is enough. We had enough. That's all it is. It's nothing about this particular specific person because this person passed over. No, the cup
Right.
is full.
Okay. According to Marie, the cup was full. So women got to the point. Jamal,
Yeah.
instead of looking at this, I just will
Yes.
throw this out there. There were a lot of other issue murders that took place. Udell Sherman, Princess Cooper, the names go on. Justina Taylor was attacked. All of these things happened. There hasn't been justice for these people. I remember that Princess Cooper mom and few other women took onto the street were demanding justice, and they were whipped by the police. So my question to you, Jamal, where all of these women come from, is that because the mother of this deceased, because you're a powerful woman, is that why they coming out? So where become of the other people? There's a
Yeah.
little girl that was raped in Nigeria, and the father even came onto this program to talk about it. There was nothing. Women said nothing about it. What do you think of this?
Yeah, Paul. It's a twofold. If you look at the situation like in Africa in general, we tend to give prominence to people in hard ups, like what Marie just said. It's just a situation where it could spark up or trigger an action, so people will look into it. That's what happened right now, and it can happen in Africa. If you are disadvantaged, it's not a chance that you had opportunity to get justice. You see, that's how it works. Where you are must live right now, where justice for all. It doesn't work like that in the other part of the world where we come from. I mean, from the continent of Africa, and more especially developing countries. So if you see some high-profile people showing up yesterday during the protest march, they want to identify with the Justice Scott. And that's the one to like show that we are with you. and in terms of joy and sorrow. But a poor lady sitting down somewhere in Looking Town who lost her child a couple of weeks ago, and there's nothing heard of it. Even the police is not making a search because she doesn't have the money. She doesn't have the money to buy bread. So you know how it is look like. So we wish this situation will trigger a situation where those that have been missing or those have been killed will get justice. So it's a twofold situation, Paul. So we wish that those who lost their life, our hearts go out to all of them. I mean, they're all Liberian, they're all lives. They lost their lives. But you can't, that's just how it is in Africa, more especially where we come from. You can't control it. So you see those high profile ladies from the top class leaving their jobs, going out there to show their, how do you say that? They pay their respect to the justice child that lost in the attack. So like we compare it to like the this Floyd case in America, because Floyd was not high up, but he was a low class man, because the African Americans felt that it was too much. They could come on the street and protest. And this, it could be the other way around for us in Liberia. The high ups will help us to help those like this Felicius Brown who died and nobody heard of him and heard of her, can get justice. I hope it will go across every community in every county in every cities in Liberia. That's what we wish.
Great. So that leads us to this, the culture of selective justice in Liberia. And I want Orita to take us through this.
I think it's like we said, when we started, like we said earlier, because with this form of selective justice, it will be hard for every girl child in the Liberian society to feel as though she is, included. Because poverty don't have say, oh, you up here, I'm down here. Because today, those who are reaching Liberia, something can happen tomorrow. They can lose everything. I mean, we see that, on this side. They can lose everything. Poverty, sickness, injustice are three major aspects in every society that no individual can escape from. So it should always be a priority, especially to those women, because a lot of those women, they work at the top. Some of them are senators, lawyers, and working in government. They have position where they can, they are when they raise their voices, at least things can happen, some changes can come. But that change, they have to, they have to understand that every change that is created in the Liberian society, it should apply by all citizens. And in this case, now we are talking about women and children. It should apply by all women and children. It should apply by all women and children. So, like I said, I'm happy, but at the same time, I'm sad and disappointed. But I'm hoping moving forward, this will be the norm. Like we said, tomorrow or the day after, God forbid, a mom Musu daughter who living in, like Jamal said, Logan Town or Nuclear Town, if we say, oh, the little girl was raped, the little girl was stabbed, the little girl got, accident by a police inspector, we should come outside. Even I understand, like the women we saw yesterday at Capitol building, if they cannot come outside, let them raise their voices. You got social media, you got various, radio station. Because one thing we do here, I know for a fact that for me, when something is happening, even if I don't go out and protest, I sit, because they send out things, it can be, you got to put your signature, all that thing. So I really hope and pray to God that what we saw yesterday and the day before will be the norm when it comes to creating justice for women and the girl child.
Creating justice for women and the girl child. Jamal, although it's not only women being killed in Liberia, there also a lot of young people have been killed. Today, it was also on Wednesday, it was published on Front Page Africa. And this is another high up of let me share this one, you guys, so because it's all have to deal with this selective justice, setting people, they are big people, they can order people to be whipped and killed and nothing come from order A. It has
Oh,
happened over, yeah.
before you bring that video, I want just to make a comment before you come over. You know, one thing you should also understand that in the society where we live, names make news.
Right.
If you're big, if something happened to you, it catches headlines. Unlike when you're nobody. So we should take that in consideration. So I do understand that we need to fight for everybody. Every lives matter. But what comes to the situation where are what's their name, the human rights lawyers, the activists, the people that are fighting for these people? I remember some times ago in Liberia, the women were out there. I mean, they had a massive demonstration about protests about the high level of rape in the country. We saw that I think 2 years ago, if you remember. But it has to be constant. So we need to hear the voice of these human rights activists, these social activists, to speak for those underprivileged. So I do agree with my sister Orita that we need to make sure that every life matters in Liberia. But how will that work with this country we come from, where like Paul is going to play a video with somebody and a big person will ask somebody to be whipped? So and nothing goes out of it. And we have a lot of death cases waiting at the police desk or at the justice ministry, whatever it is. There's no outcome. So where do we go from here?
That is the question, and the president of Liberia have not spoken anything about this woman, the other high-profile woman who da. So this was reported on Front Page Africa. I just want you guys to look at this little clip here. In there, this one is interesting though. The town chief ordered this guy to be flogged. They tapé him to death because he disrespected the town chief. This happened on Wednesday. Front Page reported this on Wednesday. See, this is what we talk. When you have little power in Liberia, you go extra mile to do things and get away with it. And Marie talked about the George Floyd incident. People who in authority thinks that they are law breakers, and this is classic example. And our government not doing anything about it. As Jamal said, there are a lot of cases that is on the police deck. It have not gone anywhere, and people do not get redress when these things happen, especially this CDC-led government. I may say that specifically because a lot of cases have come on. There's no redress to all of it. So Marie, looking at that picture you just saw, a town chief, because he's a town chief, some little boy disrespected him. He ordered they should flog him to death. And what they did, those who were in the war, they tapé him. They tied his two hands and they beat the young man to death. This is what we're talking about. Would that young man get justice?
You know, speak to what they call tabe, so people understand where you're coming from.
So the tapé is they put their two hands behind you and tie it with rope. It's not like handcuff.
But you don't need to go in that much details. I understand exactly
okay,
what
so
you said.
I just for those who don't know, so those who experience that, that's what they did with a young man, and it just saw that Liberia is just heading the wrong path. I don't know, but talk to us from that image that you saw. Would that young man get justice?
It's
It's
unfortunate.
heartbreaking. Yeah.
It's unfortunate. The thing is, this is very deep. It's deeply saddening that this is going on, and This is what I tell the global environment. You guys stop pressing on the fact women, men, women. Every lives matter. My life matter. The little baby, the 2 years old baby lives matter. The 10 years old, the 16 years old. It's not all about women. Women cause the most crime in the universe. Men do the same thing. Would that little boy get justice? This is what I talk about. Power grade and authority. And most people who goes in authority, most especially when they learn to a very high scale, they intend to abuse, intend to give most especially alumni bad names. Will he get justice, Uncle Paul? Very much I doubt it. Because the
Well,
whole focus right now in the global environment is just the whole focus, most especially, I'll exclude the global environment a bit because this is not the focus right now. The focus is Liberia. What is going on in Liberia through my research is between man and woman, man and woman, man and woman. No, they need to put an X to that and focus on the detrimental effect that is happening in Liberia. This is not man and woman, man and woman. No, it's not about that. What about that? What about that little boy? That's somebody else's child.
yeah.
And forget about he being somebody else's child. It saddened me because just to see someone like that being tied, if you want to punish someone, maybe put it in a room or something and wait until you can be judgmental and bring out your whatever discipline you want to put in place. Don't tie them like that. That is unforgiving. Will he get justice, Uncle Paul?
That
Will
is
he?
the question I'm
Yeah.
asking. So, Jamal, you did talk about people high up, they carry weight. And I just want you to see this coming from one of the viewers here. You see that the young man is poor. He will not get justice. Jamal talked to us before Rita.
Yeah, Paul, do you hear me? Oh, sorry.
Yes,
Do you hear me
do
now?
you hear me now? Carry you, yeah.
Right.
Right.
You see,
You see,
that's what we are
that's what
saying
we are
with
saying
the
with the
situation we are in
situation we're
right now.
in
It's
right now. It's
unfortunate we don't
unfortunate
have
we
the
don't have the
justice
justice
structure
structure
where
where
we
we
all
all
get
get
the equal
equal
justice.
justice.
So if you
So
are
if you
hard
are
up,
hard up,
there's a there's a
there's a
chance that
chance that
you
you
authorize
authorize
things that
things that
are
are
illegal and
illegal
you
and
can
you
go
can go
without being
without being
punished.
punished.
So
So
that's how the
that's how the
system looks
system
like.
looks like.
It gave
It gave
those in the
those
high
in
of
the
the
high of the
authority to
authority
carry
to
on
carry on
crimes
crimes
with
with
impunity.
impunity.
So
So
what are you
what are
saying
you
that
saying that
the young
the
man
young
being
man being
whipped to
whipped to
death
death
or being
or
tied
being
and
tied
beaten
and
to
beaten to
death
death
may go
may go
even
even
with nobody
with
caring
nobody
to see
care to
what's
see what's
happened, what has
happened, what
happened.
has happened.
So
So
the higher
the
up
higher up
will have the
will have the
authority, they have the
authority, they have the
power.
power.
That's what
That's what
matters. That's what
matters.
the
That's what
power
the
is all
power is
about.
all about.
The power
The
when you're
power when you're
full power.
power. Jamal, there's too much echo in your voice, the viewers are saying. So make adjustment and then come out to that. Let's get Rita view on this while you making adjustment.
Okay.
Rita?
Yeah. For me, the visual aspect of that picture just took me way back, you know, to the days of the civil unrest in Liberia because as an 11-year-old girl, I walked from Chikisu factory to Nukutan, going to get food from my mom. My mom auntie who read me. And between Freeport and Chocolate City, there was a checkpoint. That's how the rebel, got people tied. And sometimes they would tie both their feet and their hand together, like, seeing that, it just I'm angry, really, 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 really angry because this is a child. In 2023, in the Liberian society, we see a child being treated like that. It just shows that there are a lot of ex-rebel active in this government. I'm sorry to say that, but I will say it because whatever that young man or child did, because I don't know his age, but I'm assuming He's between the age of 15 and 25. Whatever he did,
He disrespected the town chief, so he ordered him flogged.
please. Even if the town chief felt disrespected, what we do in Liberia, saying he said he has taken on the title as a town chief, you know what the town chief do? You call the rest of the men in the town, and you call that child parent or the guardians, and you have a meeting. Say, oh, today this child did something that didn't sit well with me. Who is the town chief? And we talk it out. But you don't go and treat that child as, the way the rebel treated Liberians. For me, honestly, normally I didn't see if a child disrespected or when it comes to Liberian, their form of disrespectful, their idea of disrespect is that when you believe something and you stand for what you believe, and they believe something else, they label you, or they say they make it seem like you're disrespectful. No, for me, I grew up with. I tell God, thank you, my granddaddy was educated, because from a young age, I was heard. My opinion, the only thing he told me, stand for what you believe in, and that's it. But what I saw on that newspaper, the first page, is the most evil thing anybody can do to a child, because that's how the rebels treated Liberians. And some Liberians were tied up and got killed or got stoned to death. In 2023, you are treating us like that? No, that is not. That is no town chief. That is an OX rebel.
Right. So this situation in Liberia, this young man, one of our viewers said here, no one is discussing this death in Liberia about this young man, because this young man mother is now Councillor Moses Scott, or is not Nyomni Kanga Lawrence's son. So this a poor boy that in the village just disrespected the old man, and he decided to whip him to death. No one talking about it. And there are so many of these cases in Liberia that the people get away with it free. So many of these cases. So this is why and it's just a shame that it's happening in the 21st century in Liberia. On my own friend who is the president of Liberia, and he have not said a thing about death in Liberia. So you talk about rebel, and this will lead us to the Liberian government decided lately when it took over to hire a lot of rebels into the government, especially the Monrovia City Corporation. The Monrovia City Corporation, where Jefferson Kochi, for some reason, every little bad thing in Liberia is connected with him. And he hired a lot of rebels over there, and they're not supposed to be carrying firearms. But they have been carrying firearms for the past 5 years, intimidating people in the Monrovia area. Now, this high-profile case that came out, the police didn't want to do anything about it. They actually arrested people that have no connection with the murder case. Ordinary people that went out with their little hustling to earn meat. When the pressure started mounting from people now, the police decided to invite the perpetrators. And we were told that the Monrovia City Council is just how they call it, market police officer. They're not allowed to carry arms. But Jefferson Kochi and his crew, they've been using arms to intimidate people. So uh, just for Jefferson Kochi, the police treated him as one of the person in this death case as person of interest. So he went to the police station for questioning, and he took his whole battalion with them. And the the director of city police had arms, which is not supposed to carry arms. And Patrick Suru, who is the SG, the for the national police, the IG, he was called to the Senate to answer what is happening because the case now getting the senators and everyone talking. So it's happening that when they asked him about this arm, he said he was not aware of somebody carrying arms. So I want you guys to see, let me see if I can bring this clip of him saying what he said. And this is just example of, look at this. This is the accused murderer. He worked with the Liberia National City Police. That's armed on him. They're not supposed to. And this guy is an ex-rebel. And Orito, you talk about rebel people, then the government get a lot of rebel people. This is classic example. This is the alleged criminal, the guy who murdered somebody that Jerome Verder called his name. So he also had been called to the police station for them to talk about firearm and the trial. So you guys talk to me. Jamal, your device is okay now?
You hear me now?
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're good now.
It says no echo.
No,
No,
it's
so you
fine.
can flow.
Right. No, listen. This is not new, guys. Jefferson Koji was saying branding pistols some times ago. Do you know the story of Teller Ure? When they went to attack, they took a gangs of guys to go attack them. And this happened, nobody talked about it. We saw a cache of arms in the country a couple of weeks ago or a month or some months back. There's no report on that. This guy is carrying arms all over the country. I mean, this is a government, this has been approved and commissioned by the government in power. So what are we going to do about it? We just sit here and talk because we sit here in the West. We can talk because we're in a comfortable situation. Nobody in Liberia speaks about it. And our people's lives have been threatened. Our people have been at midnight, those knocked at and be taken away. These are gunmen. These are the guns in the hands of those bunch of ex-rebels, a profound criminal, convicted murderers, and nothing's happening, Paul. You see this guy, he's bluffing with the guns with him. He sat there with picture, man. This is a sad story, but who's going to say something about it? It's another story they're going to go in the tin ad. Tomorrow again, they say, oh, yes, sir. Look, we got many of stories out there. Nobody's talking about it. The sad story of the devil of Justice's daughter. It's going to be after some time. You're not going to hear anything about it anymore. That's it.
Yeah.
So we just sit here talk about it. Nobody's talking about it. That's why I ask, where are the human rights activists? Where are the people that are speaking for justice? Where are they?
But so let me play this little clip and then I want your view because the city police, the justice minister said they're not supposed to carry arms. They invited Jefferson Kochi to the police station for questioning, but his director of city police had arm on him and he questioned the RG. He lied on the oath that this guy didn't have arm in his presence. So I want your view on this.
The head of city police was a trainer of the Liberia National Police. He's not in the employ of the Liberia National Police, so he is not to bear arms. But what happened was, when he tendered his resignation, he had the gun assigned to him by the Liberia National Police. So we went after him, and later on we got the weapon from him. So if he bears any other weapon, it's not an assigned weapon for NLP, and we are not going to condone him carrying arm. But the arm I was exhibiting around that I am aware of is a Liberia National Police arm, but we took the arm from him because we told him, once you are not in the employ of the Liberia National Police, you cannot bear our arms. Right. So we disarmed him.
But this press conference was on Friday, I believe. So when did you take the arm from him?
We took the arm from him maybe for a month or so.
And I've just forwarded the press conference to your WhatsApp account.
Okay.
So you can listen.
Okay, thank you. No, definitely, if you have a firearm, we'll have to go after him.
I'm just informing you.
Yes.
This
Look,
man,
Paul,
yeah,
Paul, look at that jokers, man. Why in the first place the guy should be carrying arms? Why should they assign him firearms? He's not employed. He's not employed by the national police, by the national what do you call it, the national police. But why should he carry arms? The first thing he said, they assigned arms to him, firearms. Why did they give him the firearm in the first place? This is
well, what
this
he
is
said, he
yeah.
said the guy was in the police before he was trained up of the police, before he moved to the city corporation.
But before you move out, disarm him, move him, let him move
Yes,
out.
exactly.
This is just one sort of intelligence here. Oh yeah, he's the guy was a trainer at the national police. He have to move and ex-rebel. He has not gone through his how do you call it, his rehabilitation process. He's been allowed to train on the national police and to bear arms. And he allowed him to carry the arms, just walk out of the door with the arms, commit crimes. I mean, allegedly commit crimes, and later on, then they went after him to disarm him. You see, look, how do you? It doesn't even connect. You see now how we are joking with us, man.
Mm. But the funny thing is, like Jamal said, the funny thing is, and from what I heard, I hope I understood him right. The fact is that with such, occupation, when you resign, you send in your resignation. The first thing you do the next morning, you pack everything belonging to the police, including the firearm. You go there, you leave it there, you sign. Why should the police go and,
Orita, the first and foremost, before he leaves, a resignation, saying the resignation, the police himself should be after him to get all the government property out of him.
Exactly.
Before he let him out.
Exactly.
So they failed themselves to get their stuff out of from this young man, allowing him to go work with firearm. If he has not been named as a culprit in a crime, so he will be carrying the firearm.
No.
If you are not named like a principal suspect of a crime, he will be carrying this firearm because the name came out that he was involved in a crime, allegedly involved in a crime. That's the reason they went to disarm him. He's been how long? So let's compare. When did he resign as a trainer of the national police? So compared to the time this alleged crime took place, so he's been carrying the firearm for a couple of months or years.
But they've been carrying a firearm from years.
No, look at the time interval, Paul.
Yeah, but what I'm
What time
saying,
he was
Jamal,
the trainer of the national police, and
yeah,
what
but
time
he became the head. He became not the one that carrying the firearm. Let's get this straight. The one that carrying the firearm, according to
yeah.
he's the director for the city police, and
But
he's
let
not
him
the
carry
one.
firearm whatever he is.
So he's not supposed to carry firearm, but they've been carrying firearm for the past 5 years. The director of police is right in the city with them. He have seen them carrying firearm, but he haven't done anything until the case came out now, and people start saying, but they say the police not supposed to carry firearm. And oh no, they're not carrying firearm, but they are carrying arms, and they've been displaying their arm. So why is he lying?
You know, Paul, the thing I know the legislature also don't know what they're asking. The first of all, foremost, the question was there should be some trade of questions. Look, listen, when did this director of left to go join, director of MCC police, when did he leave us? When did he resign? We want to know. Tell us when he resigned. Then you tell him, oh, I send you information on your WhatsApp. Go listen to it. Nonsense. Tell us what time we want to hear. What time he was a director? He was training the police, and what time he left. And when you guys begin to know that he was taking care of the firearm, so who somewhere filled somewhere to do their job. So nobody just left the thing. Oh yeah, okay. I'll check your WhatsApp. I send you a message. Oh, we disarm you. So we should go after him because he became firearm. See,
and the fact is too, you hear wasn't it Patrick?
Paul,
His last name is Patrick saying that we contacted him after to collect the gun, the arm. I mean,
I suggested. I'm sorry. I still want to repeat myself. If you mind, I always go for a radical approach. I think the government of Liberia should allow everybody to buy arms and defend themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds stupid, but this is the right way. If you see
Doesn't
this,
sound stupid to me, because
right?
if they're mimicking the American way of living, 24/7, why can't they just legalize guns?
I agree. That's what I said the last time on the show because somebody took me like oh, I was supporting I want to bring chaos in the country. When people being attacked and murdered, nobody, nothing's happening. I said, look, let the government come up with a system where you can register and have a registered gun for self-defense. Because our people continue to get murdered and nothing come out of it. It's gonna go
Yeah.
like that's how it's gonna happen. We need to just push for a registered guns, carry a registered gun, and keep my guns in my hand. I got my 38 with me. You don't try to measure with my fence. I'm gonna blow your hair off. Definitely gonna blow your hair off. I mean, this is what our people are going to get murdered. What about, like we're saying, somebody down the line who does not have the money to buy arms? So what we do, we'll
Exactly.
be a brother's keeper.
You got cutlasses.
Oh yeah, we
But
gotta be
you
a brother's
touching that
keeper.
cutlass.
What
Uncle
life
Fred,
is?
you know what? Uncle Fred, you know what? Just that picture you show, right? Sorry for interrupting everyone. That picture you show, it just seems to show Liberia need desperate help. It just because this is like you keep pressing on this picture. This will be the fourth time you show this picture. It's something that I believe is disturbing you because ain't right. It's not processing or not accepting very well. Most especially in your mental capacity, because you putting one and two together, and you still saying this ain't right. This ain't right. Why? Why? Well, but why is he even close to the government and they know who he is?
Yeah.
The government feel paranoid, Mary. The government is feeling paranoid. They think somebody's after them. So what they do, though much of those guys they have to go through the the rehabilitation process after the war. They didn't go through it. So you arm them to the teeth in case anything happens. Put it on the street. Jeffrey Guji is carrying guns around him to attack people that disagree, that have dissent views or voices against the government. So that's what they've been doing. We've been seeing it all around the place. They attacked a lady called what was the name again? Teller Yuri during the
Yeah.
election, and they attacked whoever just disagreed. They just killed you. That's what they've been doing all along, and nobody's talking about it. Where the human rights groups, where the activists, just sit on Facebook and say, "Well, we're activists. We can fight for the people right. They want to get a word." And then when the people challenge them, they run. They run. Where's
Yeah.
Lima Bull? I want like her. I like to hear her speak on these issues.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's a good question.
yeah.
What is Lima Bowie and all of these big names? But all of them,
Who
this
is
all
who is
speaking.
that, Uncle Paul? Who is
Yes,
that? Lima Bull.
she
She
was
won.
a human rights
Him.
activist. She won the Nobel Peace Prize with Ellen
Yeah.
for being
Oh,
activist and
Yeah.
stuff. And the Catholic Justice Peace Commission, how do you call them? These are the people. That this is what this guy here. I think there are a lot of justice systems, so many human rights groups, activist groups in Liberia. But I think they're all hustlers. I think. I'm sorry, I may be wrong. They may be hustling too. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
So Marie said it right. Liberia need to be what we call revamp at all because everything just gone disarray in Liberia from the janitor to the president. The whole thing just need to be revamped. The whole country is helter scatter at the moment. And this before we move on to our viewers, if they're your first time, kindly like our page, and then whenever we come on, you get notification. We also on My Tuning. We have our own app, so you can catch someone play music in the background. We have our own app. You can download our app on your phone. You get us 24/7 on the bottom line, Liberia. And before we move on, Marie said something that caught my attention. Said that Liberia need to be revamped. And recently, there was election held in Nigeria, and Nigeria is, I mean, the whole West Africa, they have a youthful population, and today the young people in Nigeria are dissatisfied with the result that they have by electing somebody old. So I, the Nigerians used to laugh at the Camerooners of having a Paul Biya who barely walk. They made music out of him. And today now, Cameroonians are now saying, well, if you have a glass building, don't throw stone. So they started mocking the Nigerians too. So I want you guys to, before I talk to me, let me play something here funny before you guys can come in. Jamal talked to me about that election while looking for this video. You like it.
Yeah, You hear me?
Yeah, hearing you.
Right. I mean, the election is a sad story. We know that in Africa there was no election. Such election will not go with escape a controversy. I know the result has to be challenged. Is Nigeria and other African country? We happened in Ghana. They went to court. It went to other countries. Sierra Leone. It was this issue. I think the only country that I didn't hear much of challenge was somewhere in Senegal, where they have transition, the leadership change, exchange hands. But we saw that the Nigerian election going to be a close one, and it's it was very close election. And you hear a lot of popular voices coming out talking about the result was rigged. And what we're going to discuss here, because it's a very broad topic, what we talk about here, what we're going to learn from as Liberian, first and foremost, about something that was missing, Paul, before we go to the video. Um, we need our people to be educated on the electoral process. You see, there's something the Nigerians are complaining about is that the votes count were not uploaded. The whole votes count were not uploaded. That's the actual vote counts, which they think were manipulated by the NEC, the ANEC, the Independent National Election Commission in Nigeria. They believe that it was being manipulated. So it was manually counted and given instead of the actual one that should have been uploaded to the biometric system or whatever system they have. So, and the problem is, what much about if the system have got default or it has a defect at the time you want to upload it? What do you do? So, if the electoral, those are election at the polls or doing the conducting those manning those election centers are not being trained to manually handle things, there's a bound to be a foul play. So, consider ANEC will come tomorrow and tell us, well, all the electric things, the apps we have a defect, or they went bad, so all defect. So what do? We manually handle it. We manually prepare the results. That could be another argument. So what much about? So people were not trained to handle the thing manually. What happened? Another option. What happened if the election failed? I mean the system failed to be uploaded. So, and people that were voting, where they didn't know what to do, so they would just go and vote and go away. I mean, and they let those who run the coin, those who mind the how do you call them, those who follow the electoral process, and they put them to the various polling stations. So they have only one way out to follow the uploading system. So the system failed, nothing went out. So that's the protest. So the opposition feel that they believe that the system being manipulated. So that's not the actual result. So what we need to learn from us Liberians is, we had the census. The census did not go well. Another thing, we had the same biometric system. That is not going to happen. So we are left with the mercy of the government to tell us whatever result we're going to get. And now, so what do we do? Now, we have a couple of months to go. Do we have the time, the resources to educate our people about the about the elections? How did the election go in case something go wrong? Right? If the biometric system that was to be in place is not being put in place, and we don't have the correct census for Liberians, how many of the population, the voters who don't have it? So we are at the mercy of the government. It is what's going to happen. So if it can happen to Nigeria, what do you expect with Liberia? So whatever result they give us, we have to accept it. We go to court. The court system is being compromised. The justice system in Liberia is in the hand of the government. So the chance of opposition, whoever wins that country against George, we are the chances. They can tell you this is the result. You can't challenge it. This is what happened. If Nigeria can stand on their feet and say this is the result, now up to now they're going to court. The chance of them winning the court is very slim. It's very, very slim. I mean, the opposition in Nigeria winning the court, because the guy who won the election is a godfather. They call him the godfather. Tinubu is not easy man to play with in Nigeria, man. He literally, he single-handedly handled people in our country. He handled politicians. So people know that it's not hitting something. It's not hitting. It's an open secret. The Buhari, the generations of politicians, have been running them. So, and we don't have that power in Liberia because we are at the mercy of the government. So what we need to learn from the election poll is our people not being taught how to vote yet. We only doing the same old system. Want to count, go put your finger, how do you call it? You're going to put your ink, your finger, your thumb into the ink to placed on the person that you want to vote for. That's it. And it will be manual counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Every party representative will be there. So what will happen if the party representative is there and they gave you the result? You can mark your result, you send it to your wall center or your war room, telling, okay, this is the result from the center. But the what result will be delivered to what's our
National Election Commission.
Yeah. How do you call our own? I forgot our even
NEC.
Our NEC. Your party representative will be giving their party results. This is the result from the polling station. NEC will be having different results from their representative. And this is what they're going to hold on to. They're not going to listen to what your representative is saying to you. This is what happened in Nigeria. So we got an issue right here. So this is a trouble coming. I'm telling you, as of today is the 3rd of March. For in the next 7.5 months to go after the election, it's going to be a trouble. Mark my words. There's nothing. The government failed to manage the system and just wait to open up the loophole and make sure that, well, there's a chance that we can't do anything. We manual count this is the result we have. We don't have biometric system that will give us the correct statistics of the population. We don't have that. That did not go. Biometric is not going to be working because we don't have the fund for it. So if Nigeria can now work it out, what about Liberia? So what do you expect to see in the
Exactly.
next 7 months?
Nigeria is more sophisticated country than Liberia. And that is the bottom line of they have good system in place. If they can allow this to happen in Nigeria, then what do you think about the criminals that are running Liberia today? So where is the, because this is why they have not done the voter registration. Their intent is not for many people to tell all the window they gave. They gave 1 month for people to register in the Maserati, Magibi, and the surrounding counties. So they gave it because they know people are hungry. They will not want to go out to register. This is the problem we will face in Liberia. And they will do what they want to do because it will be no biometric, how they call it, the biometric election will happen is they go to the paper base, which is the manual base. So, but having said that, I want to play this clip where Nigerians now, Cameroonians now are laughing at Nigerians, and then the ladies can come in and have their say on this. This is quite interesting. I got this from TikTok. We don't have copyright for this, so Facebook just be to let you know.
Just announced the Nigerian president, and nobody is happy in Nigeria. There's no shouting of joy. Nobody is celebrating. Everybody is just sad and angry. Some people are complaining that I've been raped, that I've been forced. Bro, that's not my business, first of all. The one way they paid me pass, be say, when I see the new president of Nigeria, I begin to love the president of Cameroon. I begin to fall in love. When I look at the president of Nigeria, oh, I am tempted and pushed to shout, Popo, je t'aime, papa, je t'aime, père. Bro, for many years, Nigerians have been mocking Cameroonians that were being ruled by Asians of days. Told people to turn around, and be ruled by the Rock of Ages. Bro. He will laugh last. Laugh best. He will laugh best. You people are welcome to the crew. You are welcome to the league. You are welcome to the league. Welcome to the... You people should also test it small, eh? Test it. At least our president have class. Our president is French. Our president is diplomatic. What do you want? What did you just give Nigeria as president? Amala, I can't have. I feel bad for all Nigerians. I feel extremely bad for Nigerians. You for mocking Cameroon, say we get old presidents, and then end up by use ancestors.
Guys, oh, this is funny. This is so funny. And
Uncle Pat, thank you so much for sharing that video. I wanted to laugh since today.
okay, this is funny. So, ladies, y'all take us through. The whole of West Africa have a lot of young people. Look at the Nigerians, their music. They have brought a lot of energy in Nigeria. They have taken over the world with African music. If you go into arts, Nigerians, comedy, Nigerians, young for population, and they gone for a 90-year-old man that manipulated the system to seize power. Is this could happen in Liberia?
But Paul, wait, no. This is not in the hand of the youth, though. It's in the hand of the few that are running
The
that
old
country.
guys,
So
yeah.
I don't think you want to. You're not fair saying it in the right way.
No, but
They did not put him there. The youth are the people that went out in all ways to bring change to that country. And you could see that the guy said that Nigeria, there's nobody happy, there's no celebration because the result is unbelievable.
yeah,
The result is unbelievable because few guys believe that they can decide for the millions. And this is what happened in Nigeria right now.
yeah.
It's a sad story, Paul.
And that's
Nigeria
carrying
is
me
a
back
super.
to what you said about it could be rigged in Liberia too, and no one will do anything.
So we don't know what's going to happen in a couple of weeks or months to come. Whether they're gonna cancel the results or they're going to have another whatever they're going to be another to we wait to see. But this is a very very sad story because Nigeria is a powerhouse in West Africa, in Africa in general, and we all need to be monitoring things carefully and see what happens. What happens in Nigeria if it holds? It's going to hold everywhere. It's going to hold
Yeah,
everywhere. And this guy is he's a powerhouse. The old man is a very, very powerhouse. Tinubu is not a small man to play with in Nigeria. And the way he thinks to everybody, you hear voices, critical voices everywhere. So I don't know how you're going to go, but we wish well for that country. And this is why we got people like after 80 years, 70 years running Africa. I mean, you tell them we don't have brains. There's going to
yeah.
something happen like Liberia where we're pushing for somebody who is in his 70, late 70s and even have health issues to run your country. What do you hope to see? Because you're hanging on experience. What about the young ones that are coming up? The brilliant one with records. It's a shame, Paul.
It is a shame. So let me go to Marie. She been laughing by watching that guy making mockery of Nigerian. Immutable. What you say, Marie?
Oh
Im-
my God, like seriously, I've been wanting to laugh for the whole week, you know, and you just kind of like just put the icing on his Friday as well. It is like, to be honest with you, that video just showed that the Nigerians, there is time. It's like what we're saying about the guy that just, the lady that you know, because the women are protesting at current, it like a stopper, enough is enough. So now it's hilarious. It's hilarious. It's your time for us to laugh at you guys now because the overall of the whole, oh my God, the Nigerians, they like, oh, look at me. I can do this. I can do that. They're going to put granddad. Sorry, Nigerians audience. I don't mean to be insulting, but you guys chose granddad. And second, Uncle Paul, guess what? Putting icing on the cake. This guy was friends with the previous president. I was watching the Sky News last night just to kind of get update on this election. Apparent, they say that the British people, because of the Commonwealth, the British people chose this guy because all of them are all into the same cycle. So if the Nigerian, look at for example, Lagos is almost 25 times double than us, just in Morovia. And they can sit down for this to happen. It's not for us to laugh. That's why I was laughing my stomach out because the Nigerian got big mouth. Big mouth. Big mouth time is over. Sorry,
Na-
guys.
the Nigeria get big mouth. Orita, this is Nigeria, a powerhouse in Africa, not only West Africa, a powerhouse that dominating everything, sports, music, art, you name it, military. This is Nigeria. When it comes to technology, Nigeria, look what happened in Nigeria that the other guys decide to run the place called Nigeria. And this guy that we elected, he been going around say he been making president in Nigeria. So it's his time to be president. What do you think? What you make of that little clip?
I will start by saying that what we just saw a couple of days ago in Nigeria is the root cause to Africa as a continent, the stagnation of Africa. That's what we just witnessed a couple of days ago. And the thing is, I'm not going to buy that where people say that, oh, the old people have wisdom. Because the thing is, I know for a fact, maybe because as a, the first grandchild, a girl, I grew up with my granddad, but I know for a fact that when the elders, even mothers, I'm not going to be specific when it comes to age, but when elders, they reach a certain age, they start to pull the young people closer to them to transform knowledge, wisdom in the generation. They know that, okay, because they know you are the people that are going to take after. But in Africa, the past, let's say 50 years, these greedy old men, who's money, they not even know how to wash their own. I don't want to say it.
Please don't say it.
Yes, I will not, because let me just hold. No, because the thing is that how can you, if you say that, okay, you have this knowledge and you have what it takes to rule a country, but you're not bringing nothing innovative to the country? Before I would talk about, the citizen. The only thing, you just want to be in that position to allocate the country's money so you, your family, your friends can live a good life. Because this is why Africa as a continent, we are just stepping in the same place. Because my thing is that these old people, they say that they have the knowledge, but they are waiting to die with the knowledge instead of them passing over the knowledge to the generation after. So what's happening in Nigeria is sad. It's sad. But God forbid, it's not going to happen in Liberia, because I think some of us, we will raise our voice to the extent where, because Liberia is our country. We got families living there. And we cannot just sit and have just 1% of the population year in, year out, exposing the citizen to abject poverty. No, it will not happen. War will not come to Liberia, but our voices, I always say that now in Liberia, ever since the past 5 years, there is a weaponless revolution, and it will continue. Not because some of we in ANC, so people just saying, oh, it's just because we want Mr. Cummings to become president. No, it's for our country. We are tired of seeing this 1% who claim to have the knowledge, who claim to have what it takes. But look at Liberia. If you claim to have the knowledge, you claim to have everything a country needs to be on the right path, look at our country. Liberia is not on the right path. So, no, we tired of these greedy old men. Even some of the women that we tired with them. If you're not seeing to it that giving we, the generation after, the right resources to step in the position to lead, and so we can pass that wisdom up, but you want to die with that wisdom? How can you tell me you have wisdom, you want to die with wisdom? Even in the Bible, God said if you have wisdom, pass it over. For the African leader, and they won't die with wisdom. That only that one will get wisdom. Then we're wondering why Africa is in such state. I'm done blaming the white man for everything, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, guys, this is interesting. And I don't know if you guys heard about this millionaire in Sudan that have been giving African leaders a prize when they do well. And he did make some video about a year ago.
We mean more Ibrahim.
Mo Abraham, that's the one I'm talking about. He said something few a year ago regarding to African leaders that in Africa as a whole, the average young people, they are aged 20 to 25, between 16 to 25, they are more. And in the Western world, you see France, you get Macron, who just was going to 40. But then when it comes to Africa, we go for people who already one foot in the grave. What kind of development that Africa will achieve? Because you see, it's like when you are kids, right? At the age of 5 to 30, 35-year old, you can run. You play football or basketball or volleyball, whatever sports. The moment you reach 35, you hang all your boots because you can't go further. Your time finished. The child behind you take over that baton to run with it. It comes to leadership in Africa. The thing people didn't do in the 1950s, they want to do it in 2023. How that possible? And this man was giving advice to youth around the world that Africa need to wake up to the reality. We cannot keep going like this. If we have a youthful population, why are we keep going for old people? And this brings me to the question of Liberia, my country. And this is where Orita was saying about people who talk about wisdom. If your boost is up, you hang all your boost. At my age 50, I can't play football anymore. Why would I go on a football field to be say, oh, to give the young people a chance? I don't want to do it. This is the same thing that this guy talking about. So Jamal, I have the little thing here. I want you to listen to this, but then you see somebody picture in this. I don't want people to get vexed, but this is a
Hello?
clip that I received. So I'm going to flow with this.
A critical mass. You see, you have been president for a long time. That's why you're always careful with your words. Now, this continent is continent of young people. Half of our people here are below 20 years old. Yes? Look at the average age of our presidents. It's about 63, 64 years old. We're the only continent in the world where we have presidents at 90 years old starting new terms. I mean, you guys are crazy or what? We've seen people in wheelchairs, you know, unable to raise hands to standing for elections. This is a joke. Yes, you are right to laugh because the whole world is laughing at us. Yeah, I always say, I mean, you look around you. You look, United States, an economy of 15, 16 trillion dollars. We, all of Africa, are less than $1 trillion. This is sufficient. Let us start by looking at the age issue. You politely put it and said, I like to see a critical mass. You see, you have been president for a long time. That's why you're always careful with your words. Now, this continent is continent of young people. Half of our people here are below 20 years old. Yes? Look at the average age of our presidents. It's about 63, 64 years old. We're the only continent in the world where we have presidents at 90 years old starting new terms.
Right. The continent is a useful continent. The thing what happened in Nigeria, that the old guys don't want to give way to the young people, it's just sad. And this is what happened in Nigeria. It's happening right in my own country, Liberia. We
Yep.
have another guy who the same age of that guy in Nigeria is in the win. And that, so I gave the analogy of football. When I played football at the age of 35, I was done. I couldn't run anymore. I mean, the guys behind me, they came with new things. So you can't be occupying that space. You serve the government from 1950s. All that idea you have as a young man, because they say the Bible said human being, once a man, twice a child. So when you small, you get energy. By the time you reach middle age, you start at that level, then you start coming down again. So your brain cells, everything start down. You still want to be the thing you didn't do when you're small, when you could run, you didn't do it. 95, that when you want to do it. So yeah, y'all talk to me. Every time I think on this, just ignore me. Why is it that young people would not give you a chance in Africa?
Yeah,
For
Paul?
me,
Yeah,
Yeah.
go,
no,
go,
the thing
go,
is,
Marie.
yeah, the thing is that something you said, why the older people are not giving the young people the chance to develop Africa. And that's why I say I'm done blaming the white man for everything that has been happening in Africa the past, let's say 50, 20 to 50 years. And let's talk about Liberia before I go to other African countries. It's due to this, because if a young man or a young woman, a vibrant, citizen wants to, take a position, they are not allowed to. So due to this, a lot of young Liberians from the age of, let's say from the age of 20 to 45, they seek, they move out of Liberia. And this caused a lot of brain drain to Liberia, because most of the people who are migrating to other countries, some of them are educated, some of them have innovative ideas to develop Liberia if they're given the chance and the right resources. But because these old greedy old men and women don't want to let these people come within, on the stage, they leave Liberia. And because of that, the brain drain is killing Liberia too, and the whole of Africa. Because I shouldn't say the whole of Africa, because some part of Africa, certain countries at least that are developing, a little bit, some of their citizens are moving back. But talking about Liberia, the brain drain is just, it's a major part of our country not even ranking as a country to, I'm not going to lie, to be honest, I love my country, but every time I go to Liberia, the stage Liberia is in is bad. It's bad. You see our capital city looking like some kind of village that were in 10 BC. So all these things cost a lot. And when vibrant, citizens leave a country, when brain drain occur, you just have a lot of people doing so. The Liberian people, they're not educated, because a lot of educated want to find their way elsewhere. Say, oh, let me go and work, even if I have to push out, if I have to, they want to say I'm not clean people or do whatever, but I know that I will get paid on time to provide for me and my family. So all these things we have to take it into consideration, because a lot of people, I'm not aware if Liberians, know these things. Why we keep saying that you got to put the right people in the right position, not just to say, oh, the person older, the person been there in government for 55 years. You've been there for 55 years, but what have you done? What ideas have you created? So people can say, oh, he created an idea. Is because that idea we eating our own manufactured rice today. We eating our own manufactured palm butter that they fix in the factory. Nothing. So I will leave it to you guys.
Yeah, Paul, do you hear me?
Talk to me.
Right. There are a couple of factors responsible for that before Mary comes in. We are a system where we depend on each other in terms of support. There's no equal distribution of wealth, where people have their own decision to make in terms of who to elect as leaders. So when it comes to Liberia, I want my uncle to be the next minister, so I will enjoy life. When it comes to leadership, I want my king's men to become the next president, so our tribe will be benefiting. This is how it works in Africa. And if you look at youth in Liberia, that should be supporting a youthful leadership, supporting someone in his 70s, you begin to say the wonder what's wrong with our people. It's not an age old man that coming to present himself on us. It's we also support him. Nigeria was a revolution in Nigeria the recent time. 80 to 90% of the youth was supporting the new leadership, the new party. They want change. They want to change. But that's not the situation in Liberia. Youth are leading the old man to lead us. That's a two different thing. Because they did not have the chance to put their hands in the gravy bowl, in Liberia, they don't have the way to chop part of the meat part or the elephant meat. So they think that the old man will sit there, will be sleeping throughout this career of the presidency, so they can grab their bait and move on. Because once he got a chance to be a leader, he's not going to make a decision. He's a health risk. We all know that. What are you going to make? He said there it'll be one decision. They'll give him sandpaper, check and give him. He go through it. Doesn't he have a chance to read through? Okay, a sign. I agree. That's how they want to do. If you look at it, who is manipulating the old man? The young people. Most of them are from the age of 40 down. They're not even in their 50 yet. They are telling, manipulating the old man, pulling him by his nose. So it's not the old man that put himself on us. It is the youth that want the old man to go to the power because they want to rip or they want to milk the system. So the youth are not looking at the future of the country, they're looking for what they can gain from it. So in Nigeria, the other way around, the youth wanted different change, total change in that country because they are fed up. That's the system but they are disappointed, devastated. The result is heartbreaking. We know that in Nigeria. There's no celebration. I mean, the old man that they put into power right now, he has lived everything. He has lived. I mean, when you age of 70, you live your manhood already as a man. You know that, Paul.
Yeah.
So what do you want now? You just want to carry the name now because I'm a president. You know? So, and this is what happened in Liberia. Liberians like, we say the man want rescue. You want to rescue Liberia. Rescue for where? 12 years you were there, you need money, your money, you didn't do anything right. They tell they want to rescue. Why rescue when you can't even sit for another 30 minutes without sleeping? Who do you want to rescue? Rescue what? You were there where you run our country for 12 years, we didn't see anything happening from the very county you are from, no major road network to your county. All the bigger projects, the rice project that was undertaking a project failed. Then you say you want to rescue us?
Yeah.
So this is a sad story for us, Paul. The youth of our country are leading us to misery. It's not the old man imposing himself on us. We need to go out there and tell them this is our turn. We need to change it around, like the Mo Ibrahim said. If you look at Liberia, the voting population, the age group from 30 years down.
Yeah, I know.
They make decision. They don't make decision. Somebody will come and give them back some money and say, look, vote for us, we'll change the country. Why he cares? Because he's broke. He's desperate. He will collect that money from you and vote. That's all he wants. Whatever you do with that country, he doesn't care. But what he does not know, that he's creating a situation where generations will suffer.
Exactly.
So this is that education we're just talking about. Like now, we don't have voter registration education going on in Liberia. So the people going to the polling station to vote, they don't know. When anything happens, they may cancel their votes. And we are the messengers of the president. I mean, the ruling party right now, because they control everything. And they got good money in their pocket to buy anything. Everybody now is running dry with no money. Tell me who is campaigning right now in Liberia? You got 1 month to do voter education in our country. So what we are saying here, Nigeria's story is a sad story. I hope they can come out of it. But it's a very sad story. We know enough. We always say if Nigeria catches cold, or Nigeria sneezes, Africa catches cold. That's what happened. And Nigeria should all sit and watch and ask for divine intervention in Nigeria so the right people come here and run our country. We know what Nigerians did for Liberia. We all know that. The time during our crisis, our civil war, they really put lives, money, resources out there for our people to make Liberia what it is today. So we should also have to go out to Nigerians as we sit here today.
Yeah, you're right.
At the same time, we wish well our own happen. We want a better change, want a real change in Liberia, in Africa in general.
Yeah. Marie, you want to chip in before we spend the next 2 minutes. You want to say something on what Jamal just said about the older people not giving young people the chance, and in Liberia, particularly young people want the 90-year-old person for some reason that they're not able to do it. But I don't see that because we're all able people. For them, somebody who are live in the 50s, work in the 50s up to 2017. I don't know. You want to talk to Marie?
Yeah, yeah, thank you so much, Jamel, for giving me a great insight. The thing is, every time I come on the show, I'm super excited to come to learn what's special about my culture, about Liberia, because I keep reading about it. I need to hear it verbally, you know. This is what I said when I first came on the show 5 weeks ago. I think we had a show about I think JMB, the Joseph Boinka,
Yeah.
if everybody pronounce his name properly. I mean, this just shows how, most especially, I won't really go down to the whole continent of Africa. I would just go down to West Africa. That I see, most especially like Ghana, Nigeria, and Liberia. Those are the three top places in Africa that is not giving the young generation chance to explode that knowledge, to explore the experience, to explore the innovative ideas, to help us, you, myself, the young generation, to be able to elevate and say, oh, wow, I want to take my leader as an example. God bless Eddie Johnson Salif. But I was just thinking that was it. I was just thinking that was it. I was just thinking Miss Madam Eddie came in to help Liberia. Now George Weah is there. Now we have Mr. Alexander Cummins, who is capable, who is who has wealth of experience, that is running for the off that is running for office, that is giving me, Marie Massacre, a chance to say I want to buy my ticket and go down to Liberia. So why are they not giving us the chance? That's why I make the example about the Poke. The Poke had a very good eyesight on this particular, which is the new one that we got now. And the guy went in to say, "Oh, I want to resign." The guy said, "I want to." The Poke said, "I want to invite you in on the story. I'm not going to allow you to resign. Why, Beans? Because I want you to be the next leader for the Catholic Church, for
Right.
the Vatican." So if the older generation, I don't know. I'm really
It's a
I'm
hard,
looking for, I don't
it's a
know.
it's a
It's
hard it's a hard
yeah.
one for everyone to comprehend this. So
I'm
you
sorry, I
talk
don't
about
know.
Alexander Cummings, and I just want to make this: the stand bearer was in Nima County this weekend, and we heard some story that came out say, oh, some ANC partisan resigned, and we found out that those people that the so-called people that resigned, they were people that were influenced by money from the ruling establishment. You remember the football thing that Jefferson Kochi then took to Uganda? Those were the people they went to target and gave them some brown envelope. But then after that, there was a huge rally of UP partisan endorsed Mr. Cummings in Nima. So I just want to show this little picture of Mr. Cummings in Nima, and he had a rousing welcome. Look at this. This is Mr. Cummings in a place there. He was moving. They had a lot of activities over there. And this weekend, he will be in Monserrado County. They are moving into some district, and this will be live. We'll be following it. So we just want our viewer to look at this, what Mr. Cummings and Jamal talk about who moving around campaigning. He's the only one that moving from places to places, making his case. But why is it Marie said it? Why is it Liberian? Some of our youth, your age group, Marie, are supporting a 90-year-old person. This is why some of us get confused. We not seem not to understand what happened to the youth. And Jamal said it because, oh, maybe that my uncle supporting this person. That's why we'll carry this person. It could be the case. So
Yeah.
just want to
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
it could be the case. Oh, because my uncle, he served under this man before he was a breadwinner, so I will support him. But that's not the case. We get a lot of young people. Look, listen, our country get talented people, clever set of people. Listen to Liberian music. Those children were getting serious funding under good leadership. Liberian music will be on the same path with Nigeria. And this is what we keep talking about. You cannot keep bringing somebody already one foot in the grave, then you say, oh, this person, and that's really, it's painful. So,
Uncle Paul, I will
Jamal,
add to that. I will add to what you say. I think I didn't quite elaborate it a bit in that much detail for you to understand, most especially around what the young generation is doing. Uncle Paul, do you know what? I believe we, the young generation, are not really doing that. I believe there's some problem. The default is into the system. That default is in the system, Uncle Paul. I'm telling you this, Uncle Paul. There's no way. The young generation are hungry.
the young generation are hungry. Orita, the young generation are hungry. Why are you talking about what made them hungry? Please talk to me on this flyer.
This flyer. This is where all Liberians in Scandinavia, despite your political affiliation, it's about we Liberians in Scandinavia, rising up to come and meet Mr. Cummings on the 15th of April to ask our questions, because this is the very first time somebody, running for the highest office in Liberia is visiting Sweden. So this will be an opportunity for us, every Liberian in Scandinavia, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Denmark. You come and ask a question, dissect Mr. Cummings in your own way, so you can have an idea of who he is. So you are welcome.
So you can have an idea of who Mr. Cummings is. And for people who have not met him, they only heard a lot of propaganda about him. He's a very humble person to be in the midst. And I can share this with you, with Jamal and Orida being here. This is little flavor of Mr. Cummings. If you meet him in the Scandinavia, this is where you will have breakfast with him. Watch this.
We're having a breakfast here, right here in Hanover. We're just starting now. Got a family of ANC are here. All the members are here. We want to start having breakfast. The boss himself is here. These are the delegation from Holland. The guy Wida is here. Wida, say hi to us. Yeah, Wida, Wida, what's your name again? The lady on the right. May is here from Holland. That's Nicholas Doe. No relation to Samuel Doe. No. That's they all came from Holland to be part of this event. We will have our sister. You got it, but the boss himself is helping himself in the morning. Nobody helps him, so he helps himself. So you see a life right here in Hanover, guys. Come and join wherever you are. We're having the event going on tonight. Everything's going to happen tonight. So join us. Yeah, right now just to give you a little live what's happening. There's a breakfast right now in Hanover, guys. Let's see. I'll go back to the table and see what we got. Describe what you got here.
So this is the flavor that we just want to show you guys, and this will be happening in Stockholm. Mr. Cummings, as people say, oh, the man is a elite, he hard to get, he's down to earth. People need to meet him. You meet Mr. Cummings for the very first time, you have different view of him. This thing about always He's elite. He's very humble person. And Jamal and Orito here can testify. In his gathering, he's somebody else that people say, well, why is it people talking negative thing about this person? Down to earth person. You wouldn't know, you run into him, you wouldn't say, oh, another person I've been hearing about. So Orito and you guys will be hosting Mr. Cummings in Stockholm. And a lot of Liberians over there will have the opportunity to see him, to interact with him, and to have their own view after they leave. He's a humble person to be, and he's running for the higher seat. And the seat he's running for, he is one of the best candidates we have now for that position. And this is where we are. So, Alo Jamal, you can talk to the audience before we close out on that.
Yeah, yeah. We just want to remind everybody here that this April, we'll be. I think Orita is here to tell them more. We will be having a really big event in Sweden, where the SB, the standard bearer of the CPP, will be coming, which is Mr. Alexander B. Cummings. So we'll be having a town hall meeting, and then those who are around, wherever you are, if you are somewhere you listen to us right now, you got friends and family around, in Norway, in Sweden, close countries in Scandinavia, please let them know that Mr. Cummings will be coming to Sweden in April. So Orita will take us through to tell us what the event's going to look like. Ori?
It's gonna be let's say 3 days festivities. On the 14th, Mr. Cummings is gonna land in Stockholm, Sweden. And that very day we're gonna have a meet and greet where Liberians, will have the chance to meet him before the event. And the 15th, the event is going to take place in a hall where Liberians will have the chance to ask their questions. I mean, ever questions. So,
Okay. I have a couple of questions for you. I know it's not a day, but what much about if I plan to come, how will you do like booking a hotel? How does it look like? And public transport or taxi? How does it look like to the center,
oh,
to the venue?
from the center to the venue with the train, it takes like 20 minutes. If you're taking a taxi, Uber, I mean, it's the same thing, like, 15 minutes.
Okay,
And
how it
there
looks
are hotels.
like weekend for hotels and stuff like that, fees and stuff. Is it reasonable for weekend or is something like? Is there like 5-star hotels and stuff?
They got 5-star hotel in the city, but they have from 3-star mainland. The 3-star hotel in Sweden, they are
What the
up to
minimum one
standard.
can pay for a hotel during the weekend?
Oh, during the weekend, it depends, the kind of hotel and the location. The ones closer, in the city, let's say maybe from 80, let's say from 50 euro up, depending if
Okay,
it's like 3-star.
I know Paul want to close this thing. Just quick, people were just asking questions with regard to, apart from the town hall meeting, what other event or activity that we expect to see?
From the town meeting, I think maybe on the Friday, go and visit. We have decided, but I don't want to disclose it. But either
What is
we'll
it?
pay a visit to the Swedish Riksdag, or we go to the, how you call it, a waste site in Sweden.
It's called a recycle plan, where they can recycle things for he to be able to see the way the people recycle things in Sweden. So when he become president, you remember Sonny Way and or Do River, people get dump
Right
things
there.
there, and all those things probably will help him to when he become president. That we can look at recycling like Jefferson Coach then today they get part of that part or they're not doing anything with it. So those are the things that we need to
And then
yeah,
Lucretia said we need a list of the hotel nearby place.
yeah, I think it will be published so that will be sent out. Yeah.
It's in a group, but I will send it to her. Yeah, because since Lucretia is not in the planning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see.
There are more questions coming out of the event, so we need to be ready to let them. The next
That's
program
right.
or
So
your show.
the next program, we're going to have a special program on this to give more info on this. So I think that's Jemai, you're right.
Absolutely.
All right,
Yeah.
man.
And
So
I will put together all the information.
yeah, great. Yeah. So guys, we've been here for the time. Our viewer been good with us. They've been with us all along. We say thanks to our viewers for being with us here again. Another edition of Bottle on Wednesday. On Tuesday, we'll be back then. On Wednesday, Marie will be coming up with this women. It is talk to her, Marie.
So Wednesday or Monday?
No,
She will be
Wednesday.
on Wednesday. Then after that, the following Monday, she'll be coming on.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna be no more ladies' hours. It's gonna be because of all of us. I'm a sexual equality type of human. I'm mostly on the humanitarian side. So Uncle Paul and I agreed that he's gonna call the business hour from the Monday going forward. Whereas Uncle Paul can come and talk. I can steal him sometimes. I can steal Jamal. I can steal Lenford, even Arita. I can
Quite
bring
interesting.
steal a lot of people to come
Yeah,
in
quickly,
and
let me hold you
discuss.
there, Mary. Tell us, what are you going to be telling us, business hour? Just give a little bit of gist here, just to get the audience to wait for your show on Wednesday. What is it like Wednesday business hour? What do we expect to hear from you and your guests?
Thank you so much for asking. I said, okay, so this is what after Wednesday, I've already steal Uncle Paul to join me to do the International Women's Day. So we're gonna talk about current, trends that is around technology because Uncle Paul is into the AI. So going forward into the business hour, we're just gonna talk about business innovative ideas, current issues in the business environment. It could be social, it could be economics, excluding the political because you guys, the big boys have that. So we just focus on the economics, on the social side of all these economics elements and the social elements. We're going to focus on that and also look at the business and also look at the market as well. See
Okay, that's
how
good.
the flotation is going in the market and see how we can kind of align that going back to Liberia and see how we can kind of it's just like helping the development in Liberia going forward. Because I have done my research. Uncle Paul is right. There is not really a business station that really kind of open eyes, give a bit of insight.
I think what we're missing here, like most of our people, like the entrepreneurs, their status, they're not deep pocket people, so they would like to know more about how can they
Yes,
succeed in terms of getting a business out there, the marketing part of it, the human resource part of it,
yes, yes,
and now when they're getting that, how do you have access to funds,
yes.
capitals? Those are things we would love to know. I think most audience would like to know where would they get
100%. I
money
can
to
give you
start.
that. I can,
How
I
will I
can
get
like
what would that money? I
for
want to set
sure.
up. I want to set up a recycling company in Liberia. Where do I get the funds from? We gotta get partners in UK.
Yeah, I mean, I have like thousands of contact, like thousands.
Good to good to have you on the borderline. We wish to
Yeah,
listen to you and
thousands of
receive.
contact. This is one of the reasons why the bottom line is my home. The bottom line, and God, God help me. Uncle Paul is there. Uncle Paul converge that into the creation is also. I think my mom sometimes pump in. I mean, they watch all of us grow. We are all there's thousands of us that is business minded, and we are really fighting, to kind of draw the audience to Liberia. So we have thousands of connection, thousands of
So
contact,
if I
especially up
get
the
you right,
hierarchies.
Marie, just to it's like you want to tell the startups, the young people, people of the minority class, difficulty of having some way of getting up their business up to start, how
Yeah,
to relate that to Liberia, moving to Liberia, and also helping themselves up here to start their own business and something like that.
yeah,
That's what you're talking about, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, how
So
to
we should
get
see you then.
funding, how
Funding.
how to understand most especially the market. We really going to like for example, I don't want to give everything out, but you know, I'm glad that me, me and Uncle Paul came to the dirty conclusion because my background is in business, so that's where you would get me to be more knowledgeable, and you get me to kind of talk, and I'll be excited talking because it's evidence based, so I can give them that. Like I have one guy that actually found me on the social channel that wants the same thing we're talking about the waste management. He's trying to be to innovate in a way that he use cement to melt the rubber. So you're trying to cut out the plastics, but he
Well,
uses.
let's keep the less in there. Keep them in. Keep that
Yeah,
in the
it's
story.
don't get me. I get
We
excited when
will
I'm
we'll
talking
catch
about
you
my
on your
business. Like,
show, Mary, and just to get a little bit of you want to trigger you to come with some information. But in any case, we'll catch you on your show, and we expect you to give for more. I think you got a lot of people to listen to you
yeah.
on the
Oh
level of
yes,
business,
yes.
how do you help them to grow their business to make money and succeed and get funds.
Yeah. Just I want to capture the small business in Liberia, the small business market.
That's fine.
How to help them to grow the business, explore the international market, get ideas how to get to expand, most especially into the local market as well. So it'll be great to have that show on Monday going forward. So Wednesday will be the last day. We just kick off with the International Women's Day, and it's a dedication to Uncle Paul. Thank you so much for having me on my on this platform because he's into AI, and I was super excited when I saw it. I said, "Oh, great!" Because Uncle Paul is into AI, so it's a final goodbye for the Wednesday. It would be great to dedicate it to him, for him to give us a bit of insight into his side of the world. So it'll be great.
Thank you, Marie. See, so I will be joining Marie on Wednesday to talk about the Women International Day, and we'll be bringing technology into that. Where is my area of comfort? So with hot business knowledge. So yeah, guys, follow us on Wednesday. It will be interesting. Listen to the young minds and the old minds. It will be interesting. So this is where the old guys step aside and get the young people chance. And I hope this message go to my Uncle Joe to step aside and get the young people chance to take over. Yeah. So guys, let's wrap the thing up. Orido, Jamal, Maria, thanks for being on the show and thanks our viewer for following us. Guys, 1 minute each. Just summarize what we have done today and how it's gonna be there. Just close our 1 minute each, and then we can wrap this up. I will start with Orida, Jamal, then end with Marie.
Oh, it was a nice show. I mean, the topics were really good, and with the bottom line, like all these new things, exciting things that are happening, I'm happy that we continue and keep, giving our country and people, involving them, bringing them information, because sometimes when information is put out there in the right way, somebody can pick it up. And I want to thank the audience for always coming and watching the bottom line. And you keep sharing and keep spreading the news to friends, family, and loved ones. And thank you all. That's my closing.
Jamal, take us.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us. We always remind you that if you join us here, we also online on the Lana Radio. We on Facebook. We are on YouTube every time. To also remind you, we also have the ladies coming up. Each of them, the beautiful two ladies on the show, have their own show. So follow us, continue following us. You have their show coming up. They have different subjects to look into, and it'll be a mind-blowing subjects. You enjoy following them. They are good in their areas. You like it. So we ask you to join them every time on the show. We're going to make this platform a very entertaining place for you. It's not going to be a bore. We'll not be discussing politics every now and then. We'll make something that you'll be interested to look into: business, entertainment, politics, culture, whatever it is, even music. So wherever you are, if you're listening to us or watching us, this is the Bottom Liberia. Follow us every day. Don't forget to follow us on Tuesday and Friday. We'll give you another edition. We should have Wednesday and Oita is coming up with another date, which will be having our own show. So, got the two different ladies will be have two different shows, and we'll have our standard program, which is on Fridays, on Tuesdays. Sometimes you don't see me here because I'm in the background doing a lot of stuff. But in any case, Paul Chulaplay and Mr. Linford Agangwe is always in the hot seat taking care of business here. But in any case, we say thank you very much for being with us this Friday, the 3rd of March. And always, we are glad to have you.
Thank you, Jamal. Thank you. Marie, want to summarize?
Thank you guys so much for having us on the show. It's always amazing to be here listening to all of these, the political, traumas that's going on in Liberia. It's very, 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 very in details, insightful for me particular. So as Jamel just mentioned, going forward, we're just gonna have our own shows. My background is in business, so I stick myself in that environment. It's where I'm knowledgeable, it's where I'm insightful. So keep us, in your prayers to keep going forward. Keep us onto your notification list. Every time we come on, you are there, to support the platform. It's not about me. It's not about, my panelists on the platform. It's about Liberia. So let's keep that positive vibe going, flowing, and send your message in. If there's anything that you want us to add on the shows, there's any topic that you would like to, for it to be discussed, just send in your message and we will be able to, to put it out there. And, as the number always goes up on the screen, call in if you want to, for us to hear your voice as well. So it's a pleasure always to come on the platform and sit here and listen to you guys, listen to the challenges, and also, try to see if I can, all of us can bring solutions or various out solutions. So it's great always. Look forward to Wednesday next week, and look forward to Tuesday. Is the next show that is coming up, and then going forward, look forward to Wednesday. It's International Women's Day that day. So come, all the great women that is on the platform today, come and listen, come and, take some notes, and maybe you might jump on.
Thank you, Marie. It's good to be here again, and we'll be back on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then on Friday. At some point, we might be coming out. There's another date I've been set aside, and that date will come also. I just want to share this with you guys. So for those of you in Liberia, Mr. Cummings is just an announcement here. He will be in District 10. He's already having something in District 10, and there will be like a march from the party headquarters to this district. He will be meeting a lot of people. He's now making his case for Liberia. So those in Liberia or friends, you can share it and get people to go into that district. He will be there. So just watch out for Mr. Cummings. He's making the case for Liberians to follow. So I'll say on that note, I'll say thanks to our viewers for being with us. And without you, we wouldn't be here, although we come here and talk what we need to talk. Whatever we say is our opinion. It's not binding. So we are very careful on the show of what we put out. And we'll be looking forward to the ladies or the women forum and then the business hour. And I can show the women forum too. They be firing. And Orito is there. Then Marie is on the business hour. So we'll have Linford Agangwe, Jemai, and myself who will be on the political end as well, but will be between all. And there will be another day called the ANC Next Special. So that watch out is coming out. So we'll have Mr. Cummings on that one as well. So on that note, I want to leave you guys with this nice music from Cape Man. That for some reason Orito shared this music with us, and we fell in love with this. So we want to hear our traditional women. It's International Women's Day, so let the women sing. On that note, I'll say good night and goodbye to everybody.
Good night,
Listen to
everybody.
this.
Bye, everyone.
Papa kena kamelo mwako muma kema adenuna mwako muma kema adenuna na mwanu wajebo bono tu samemuwe na wano wene bono tu samemuwe una memuwe je bono memuwe una memuwe je bono memuwe ah je bono ah je bono memuwe je bono mekusana je bono mekusana je bono ya kaima wala de la diamana ya kaima wala de la diamana ibentona je bono ibentona je bono ibentona je bono mekusana we mekusana Namwanu waje bono kwa wetunya Late mayi weje bono Late mayi weje bono Late mayi weje bono Na me mayi la je bono Na me mayi la weje bono Jeje bono Jeje bono Jeje bono